Disclaimer. Hello everyone and welcome to the Beyblade X episode review. Now before we continue with this video, I would like to mention, mallofbays.com. We have the Japanese Beyblade X products, some Beyblade Burst products. It is an optional way to support the channel. It does keep the channel alive. I appreciate any support regardless, and since there will be no live show on the Sunday, I will mention that obviously I'll have some announcements, that type of stuff near the end. But for any of the pre-orders, whatever, rest assured, you know, next week everything should be pretty much going pretty smooth for everything. So yeah, we're expecting all the orders to get done in a good time next week. Oh, also we'll be restock. We have drawn buzzers and a bunch of other UX stuff we'll be restocking on. So keep your eye out on that, because we have some other stuff like Shark and whatever. The Phoenix feathers are now gone, but yeah, keep your eye out, please. Okay, so in terms of my thoughts for this episode and kind of just getting into it, this was an interesting episode. I still think in terms, well, I mean, the second battle of this episode is really nice. The first one, I liked a little bit of the story, whatever. So basically, this whole, like, do a little recap at the start, just going over the fact that Common X has the drawn buster, and it's Pan versus Common X. So what I actually kind of like about this episode too is you kind of get like a little bit of the backstory for Team Zuganic, basically with King recruiting them. So basically, King, when he's recruiting, he wants bladers that are strong, you know, all that stuff, blah blah blah. But also, he hates quitters. He hates quitters. So, you know, basically, you know, when people start to leave, like Toguro is like still there, and King is like, hey, you wanna know what? I like that you didn't quit and give up. He doesn't like somebody who just like gives up easily. So basically recruits him, and I liked it. I think they reused this shot twice when he's recruiting Pan, but eventually they start going around, and then after they eventually find Pan. What's interesting about Pan is that she obviously has a very strong shoot, whatever, and King notices her talent and eventually recruits her. But I do like how they basically kind of set them up. And it's really nice to kind of see, like, before they were recruited into Zuganic. I like that. I like that quite a bit. I like any time that X can kind of do this, where they can add interesting stuff, like, oh, how was Team Zuganic originally formed? I think these aspects of the animation are what are, like, the strengths, like, the big positives for the story, you know, the character work and that type of stuff. Obviously, when the battle begins, it's a little interesting. Oh, also, I do like that impact frame, that's, you know, the little X thing when he does the little unique launch. But, you know, everybody has, you know, obviously the whole thing with Rhino is supposed to be, like, concentrated to the center, all that stuff's supposed to be, like, sturdy. So the first hit, she deflects. The second hit, she does not. And eventually, she tries to, like, go for the hit. I'm on the void. She goes for the hit on Drawn Buster, but Drawn Buster, like, evades it, and eventually just extreme dash. I thought for a second she was going to give more of a fight, and I thought, like, oh, is there going to be a little bit more? She kind of just holds on to the edge and then eventually loses. And Common X like, hey, my team, look at this. Look at how great this bay is. Shout out to Multi for being an amazing bay crafter, all that stuff. So they're getting all the votes and everything. Now, even after that is where this gets really, really cool, because we see two recolors of bays that I actually really want them to do. So this is, this Taisho versus Ichigo. So basically, like, there's like this like Beyblade Robo kind of thing that she's gonna inhabit, and that's basically how she's gonna battle, right? So then after she gets into like this like robot body thing, and she actually pulls out her bay. I would love it if they actually gave her a unique bay eventually. Whatever. So her specific name is, I think it's like Berry Blast. It's basically Wyvern Gale, which part of the gag in this is that they're like, oh, that's just Wyvern Gale. It's like, no, that's Berry Blast. I don't know. I thought it was funny. I like that recolor of Wyvern. Let me go back. I like that recolor of Wyvern Gale. The design of it's like a lightning bolt and a strawberry. I like the pink and everything. So I hope they eventually do it. And then Taisho's, it's the shark itch. I thought it was just sushi. No, it's actually just it's a fish. It's a fish. So this is obviously made to be unique for Mako. I kind of like when they call it stuff like this. Like, you know, it's a basic model reuse, but I like it when it's kind of like clever like this, you know? Because I feel like in universe, it makes more sense to just acknowledge it as like, well, yeah, there's Shark Edge, but hey, look at this, right? Because it feels weird to me, like, oh, Strike Hawk, oh, this, whatever. They literally like acknowledge it. Yeah, that's basically Wyvern Gale. Yeah, that's Shark Edge. I like that. Taisho's obviously very experienced and a veteran blader, you know, constantly practicing. I still hate they took out the bucket and shoot reference. I don't know what the fuck that thing is. I don't know why it's animated or live. That thing still disturbs me, but as the battle begins, oh, the recolors of this stuff looks pretty nice, actually. They gotta do an actual recolor of this. Basically, you know, Taisho's kind of sweeping, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, she does, oh, actually, there was one nice part of the animation in this episode, which was when her Bey does like this little, it's a nice little hand-drawn thing of that little effect of the strawberry. Taisho sweeps and went, oh, there you go, wins. And even though they lost, they still got a lot of votes. So even though you lose, it's just the popularity votes, whatever. So none of the wins or the losses really matter. So Pendragon shows up to this, okay, and they basically, Chrome basically does like a little demo battle. So he's battling against the robots, and the thing is, I think he's asking like, hey, why don't you have a copy Common X? And he's like, oh, no, don't do that. I think he was like, just copy mine or whatever. And then the robot basically because the whole thing with this robot is it can actually even copy the bladers, whatever. So it copies Chrome. Now Chrome is very, very powerful. The robot starts overheating and all that stuff. Sparks. So what's pretty cool about this is basically it's Cobalt Drake versus Cobalt Drake. The robot gets overpowered very, very easily. And he eventually just beats it. I think he really despises that robot thing. I think he just doesn't believe that something can just be replicated like that properly. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And then after at the end, it just had like a little fun thing at the end. So in terms of my thoughts on this episode, let me go over my ratings. I said story 5. I think it's interesting where the story's going right now. I think it's really cool they kind of put Chrome and Pendragon there to kind of show how much levels above they are from everyone else. I think I said art was just the basic 3, animation is I said 3, battle 3, CG 3, characterization 5. This is like a nice episode for X. You get, I think my favorite battle in this was probably Taisho versus Ichigo. I just like their bays and just watching the battle. On the serious end, it's probably the Chrome versus the robot. I don't care what the robot's name is. Like shoot that? Is that the name of the? I think it's interesting to see the following ups and to kind of see what other unique interactions we can kind of get with the groups and these characters, because obviously we know this is going to drag until. Actually, I don't even know if they're gonna get the actual Team Dream of like the Shinobi and the Rex guy, how they're gonna kind of write that in, but I'll be curious to actually see how they incorporate it. Either way, I think solid episode in terms of story and how they've been able to utilize the characters. And battle-wise, I didn't care too much about it. I thought the pan thing was like, it was okay. I think it was fine. It was fine. It wasn't anything that I thought was thrilling, if that makes sense. I feel like in general for X, it's always been more of the characters in the story than necessarily just the battles, because I think it's very rare for, and X does have some pretty good times when the battles are pretty good, but you know what I mean, like it's very rare for like X to have like, you know, battles that are kind of exciting to watch. But before we end off, I do want to throw in some plugs at the end, because we're not going to have that live show on the Sunday, so I do want to mention, hey, we have a bunch of reviews up of the Hasbro stuff that's going to be going over this weekend. I have an event on April 28th, so if you make sure to check it out and sign up for it. This is for the Toronto, Canada community, so if you're able to, check it out. Hey, speaking of which, by the way, Anime North at the end of May. We have 3 wonderful days of Beyblade X Tag Team, a regular Beyblade X event, Metal Fights Beyblade. If you want to attend to have some exciting battles, to meet amazing bladers from the Toronto blading community, this is your opportunity, this is your chance. You'd have to make sure you sign up through Challenge, and also make sure that you you know, do whatever you need to pay for Anime North to get the ticket, but it's pretty cool. And also, throwing this out there, but the manga VFX comic dub thing, you know, editions are still up. I think it goes till the end of May, so hey, if you're interested, or you know people that are interested, hey, check it out. Okay, aside from that, I gotta find the last visual as I end off. So we're gonna go with we're gonna go with whatever this thing is. I don't know what that thing is. It still disturbs me to this day. Anyways, that's gonna be it for now. Enjoy the rest of the reviews probably for this weekend. I probably will lead into Monday. I don't know when I'm gonna be getting the new stuff of like the Rex and the Drigger S. So, but thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day and bye.